Hello everyone and welcome to my channel, English XPR. Today we will learn English from the story of the great scientist Albert Einstein. So let's get started. Part 1. Quiet Beginnings. On a cold day in March 1879, a small boy was born in the city of Ulm, Germany. No one could have imagined that this child would one day become one of the greatest minds in history. His parents named him Albert Einstein, and from the start he seemed different from other children. Albert was a quiet boy, slow to speak, which worried his family. But behind the silence, his mind was filled with endless questions about the world. He observed everything with curious eyes, as if searching for a hidden truth behind everyday life. When he was 5, Albert received a gift that would change his life forever, a small compass. He was fascinated that the needle always pointed north. That moment awakened a deep wonder in him about the invisible forces that rule nature. At school, Einstein struggled at first. Teachers thought he was slow, but he simply preferred deep thinking over memorization. He disliked rigid rules, and the traditional education system could not understand his way of learning. Surrounded by books, young Albert devoured works on science and philosophy. Inside him grew a strong belief. The universe was not as simple as it looked. There was an invisible order behind everything, one that could be understood by anyone with enough passion to search for it. Part 2. The Rejected Genius. As Albert grew older, his love for science deepened. But life didn't get easier. He applied to a top university in Switzerland and failed the entrance exam. He passed math and physics with ease, but struggled with other subjects. Still, he didn't give up. A year later, he tried again and was accepted into the Swiss Federal Polytechnic School in Zurich. There he began to shine, not by following rules, but by challenging them. He questioned everything, even what his professors taught. After graduating, Einstein faced another setback. He couldn't find a teaching job. No university wanted him. He was unknown, unproven, and poor. So he took a job at a patent office, reviewing technical inventions. It was boring, repetitive work. But in the quiet of that office, something magical happened. With no one to impress and no rules to follow, Albert began working on his own ideas. He scribbled equations during breaks, thinking deeply about space, time, and light. In that small office with no lab and no funding, Einstein started to shape the ideas that would soon shake the foundations of science. No one saw it coming, not even him. But the spark had been lit, and it would soon become a fire the world could not ignore. Part 3. The Revolution Begins. In 1905, while still working at the patent office, Albert Einstein published a series of papers that stunned the scientific world. This year would later be called his Annus Mirabilis, his miracle year. One paper explained the photoelectric effect, proving that light could act as both a wave and a particle. Another introduced the special theory of relativity, revealing that time and space were not fixed, but flexible. He even proposed the famous equation E equals mc squared, showing that mass and energy were two forms of the same thing. This simple formula would later change history, influencing everything from nuclear power to our understanding of the universe. At first, many scientists resisted his ideas. They were too radical, too strange, too different from what people believed for centuries. But slowly, evidence began to support him, and his reputation started to grow. The man who once struggled to find a job was now becoming one of the most important thinkers of his time. But Einstein's journey was far from over. The world was changing, and so was his role in it. Part 4. The Weight of Fame. By the 1920s, Albert Einstein was no longer just a scientist. He was a global icon. Crowds gathered to hear him speak, newspapers printed his face, and his name became a symbol of genius. Fame had found him, but it also brought challenges. Einstein used his influence to speak out on issues beyond science. He defended peace, human rights, and freedom of thought. But the world was changing quickly, and not for the better. Political tensions and hatred were growing in Europe. As a Jewish scientist in Germany, Einstein soon became a target for extremists. When Adolf Hitler rose to power in the 1930s, Einstein knew he could no longer stay. He left his homeland and moved to the United States, finding refuge at Princeton University. In America, he continued his research, but the shadow of war loomed over the world. He feared that the Nazis might build powerful weapons using his own scientific principles. This fear led him to take a step he would later regret. Einstein signed a letter to President Roosevelt, warning about the possibility of a German atomic bomb. This letter helped launch the Manhattan Project, a decision that weighed heavily on him for the rest of his life. Part 5. The Legacy of a Mind. After World War II, Albert Einstein became one of the most respected voices for peace. He openly opposed nuclear weapons, the very technology his theories had helped inspire. He believed that science should serve humanity, not destroy it. At Princeton, Einstein spent his later years searching for a unified theory, a single set of laws that could explain all the forces of nature. Though he never completed it, his relentless curiosity never faded. He worked at his desk until his final days. Einstein's personal life remained simple. He walked to work, refused fancy clothes, and enjoyed playing the violin. For him, life was not about fame or wealth, but about wonder, the joy of asking questions and seeking truth. When he passed away in 1955, the world mourned not just a scientist, but a philosopher, a humanist, and a dreamer. His words, "Imagination is more important than knowledge," became a guiding light for generations. Today, Albert Einstein's face is a symbol of brilliance, but his true gift was teaching us to see the universe with fresh eyes, to believe that even the smallest spark of curiosity can change the world. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, you can check out more similar videos on my channel. See you later. Goodbye.